Jazzy Talk Show. We are here. We have the Admiral, Michelle Howard. She's here at the Admiral Sims Hotel. We're going to take you somewhere. Jazzy, we love you. Peace out. Y'all know who that is. That's Mr. Cooper. He real tall. He's standing up. All right, Jazzy, we got some important dignitaries here today. Peace out. Jazzy Talk Show. Before I get started, I am trying to just give you a little scan of everybody that's here. There are so many important people. How that CJ Small back there. We've got a little bit of everybody. Somebody, probably some kin to somebody up in here. And we're doing a sweep, just a clean sweep now. I just want you to see some of the people that's here. Everybody's coming on. Come on. Coming on in. There go your mayor, Troy Eveman. That man be everywhere. Wow. Oh, this is so nice. Jazzy, we love you. Peace out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first program the Buffalo Soldiers ever put together, and this is a historical program simply because of this feature. My name is IRBY. I'm the president and founder of the Buffalo Soldiers Association, World War II, the Alabama chapter. I'm going to go right through it because our speakers on a tight schedule, so are we, and everybody's hungry too. So I'm going to have Pastor Bracy come up and go through it and say a prayer, and then we will do everything after that with military precision.
It is in the great name of the architect of the universe that we come now to request your presence to grace us. And we come to say thank you for your traveling grace and for the keeping power that you dispatched through your spirit of all of the armed forces before us, those present and those to come. Bless this good nation. We thank you for the sacrifice made by our ancestors and those that paved the way. We come to pay tribute to them. We ask for continuous safety for those that are abroad and those as well as home front. We come knowing the price of freedom is very expensive. The blood, sweat, and tears of our young people. We come thanking you that the sacrifice of our vain. Keep this country safe, if you will. It's in his great name we do pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Good morning. My name is Pete Green, and I've been asked to officiate today, and I just want to take one quick moment before we get into express my distinct honor and pleasure to be here. It's been a great honor to be asked by the Buffalo Soldiers to come and officiate. Words do not describe it. And the thing I want to point out, I work with a lot of veterans organizations, a lot of great veterans organizations. And I've done a lot with Buffalo Soldiers over the years. This lunch is wonderful because we are celebrating current achievements and new traditions. But I just want to remind you that the Buffalo Soldiers stand for a long, long line of wonderful American traditions. And it's just incredible, my privilege. And I want to thank Eddie IRBY and all the Buffalo Soldiers for putting this together. Please give them a round of applause. Hopefully that's my only time off the script. All right, if y'all would please rise for the presentation of the colors and remain standing for the ceremony, this part of the ceremony. The colors will be presented by the Davidson High School Naval Junior ROTC, commanded by Captain Tom Daniels. Present the colors. So where? Color guard. Hope. Okay. Land. Hey. Freeze. Post. All right, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, we also have from Davidson High School Naval Junior ROTC, Cadet Jaleesa Hunter.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Katie, good.
Post the colors.
Post. Vote. Right. Hey. Oh, work. Work.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd also at this time, we want to ask you to remain standing for a moment of silence. There are many here with us in the room, but there are many comrades, soldiers, and friends and family that are not with us. And so we'd like to have a moment of silence for the POWs, the MIAs, and those that have given their lives in the defense of our freedom and protection of all Americans. So please, a moment of silence. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Please be seated. And it is my pleasure now, the next part of the program, to introduce Reverend Jacob Davis, Christ Temple, to introduce our next speaker, Reverend Davis. Was there a minute ago? Oh, there he is. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say good morning to you. My guest solo today, he is a recording artist. He sings the theme song for the Buffalo Soldiers. We'd like to present to you today the pastor of the New Missionary Baptist Church, Mr. Harold D. Johnson.
Take my hand, lead me on, will let me stand. I am tired, Lord, I'm weak, and I want through the storms, through the night, lead me home to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, and lead me home. When my way it grows dread, precious Lord, will you linger near? When my life is almost gone, hear my cry, hear my call, hold my hand, lest I fall. Take my hand, precious Lord, and lead me home. When the darkness it appears and my death it draws near, and my day has passed, Lord is gone. At the river I stand, guide my feet, Lord hold my hand, take my hand, precious Lord, and lead me home. My Bible says that Jesus is coming back for us one day. We'll be in a place called the New Jerusalem. And they tell me that there are 12 gates to New Jerusalem. And on those gates are 12 angels. And the streets are made of see-through gold. But you know, I'm not going to worry about the 12 gates. I'm not going to worry about the angels on this walk by. I'm not going to worry about the streets of gold. Because I want to see Jesus, the man who looked beyond my faults and my thoughts, and you saw my need. There'll be no more crying and no more death and no more unfriendly people there. Thank God for Jesus. Lead me home. Lead me home. Lead me home. Lord, will lead me home. Lead me home. Lead me home. Lead me home.
Thanks. Well, another round of applause for that. Being here. And before we get to lunch, real quick, those of you that are guests, you may not know if you're from out of town, but Mobile is a great place to live, and it's getting better.
Amen.
And it's getting better due to the efforts and leadership of our mayor, and we really appreciate him and all the things that he's doing. Him and the city council are working very hard, and Mobile is coming around, and it's my great pleasure to introduce Mayor Sandy Stinson.
Thank you, Pete. I was hoping that you were going to say the mayor and the city council. So thank you, because the city council, some of them are sitting here, so we're grateful that y'all are here. Now this morning I had a great opportunity to welcome Admiral Michelle Howard, who is the Vice Chief of Naval Operations, to breakfast. Because this is the first time we've ever had a breakfast quite like we said this morning, but I assure you this is just normal for Mobile to have this silver and this crystal elevators on the table. But it was a great opportunity. You know, there are a lot of superlatives that I would say describe Admiral Howard. But one of the things that comes to mind is that she's a trailblazer. She was the first African-American woman to command a U.S. Navy ship, the first woman to become a 4-star admiral. She's now the first African-American and woman to become the Vice Chief of Naval Operations. Are the students from Davidson still here? Yes, okay. Let me say this to you also. I asked her, I said, at what point, and I asked specifically, was she at Royal High School in Colorado when she decided she wanted to be in the Navy? And she said, no, actually I was 12 years old. 12 years old. And at that time, there were no females allowed in our service academies. Thank goodness, 2 years before she actually was accepted to the United States Naval Academy, somebody had broken fence ceiling. Is that correct, Al? But ever since then, she has paved the way for those who are following her footsteps. And so we are very, very fortunate that she's spending time with us in Mobile to understand more about who we are and what we're trying to do as a community. This morning I had an opportunity to exchange coins with her. So I have a gorgeous coin that's now sitting on my desk with 4 stars, which is her coin. And she has one from me, which signifies the city of Mobile. But Admiral, if I can ask you to please come forward, I've got another gift for you. Admiral, I have the key to the city of Mobile, which I'm presenting to you on behalf of Mobilians and our city council. I know already from our short conversation that you already have all the keys to success. But here's one more to add. Here's one more to add to your collection.
Okay, thank you all. Now we're going to enjoy some lunch and get the program started here right quickly. So sit back, enjoy the fellowship at the tables, and we'll have lunch. Thank you. Yes.
They're having lunch now. After lunch, we will introduce the guest speaker. This is the Buffalo Soldier table here. They're having lunch. After lunch, they're going to have the guest speaker. That hardest working reverend I've seen in a long time right there. He has done so much. This man been in a car wreck and was working, just had to get out that hospital so he can do this stuff. He's out. God is good. God is good. He was in a car wreck, but he's doing fine. Wow. Wow. Jazzy Red, peace out. Jazzy just trying to show you some of the important dignitaries that are here. Wow. Y'all know Mr. Cooper. Everybody's there. Got some more coming in, but this place is packed. Mobile really have showed up and showed out for this Admiral. There go Ymir, Sandy. Wow. Everybody's in here. Oh, wow. You're going to enjoy this. Jazzy Red, we love you. Peace out. There were a lot of people that came and bought tables, bought whole tables. When you see them together like that, they done bought whole table. They bought the whole table. Wow. That's Miss C.J. Small in the back there. They bought whole tables. These are some of the kids. They're in the RTC. Wow. Making their mom proud. Making their mom proud. That's what I'm talking about. We've got some in the back here. Jazz is going to zoom into them. They're making their mom proud. Wow. Got their whole life ahead of them.
States Navy commanded USS Fort McHenry and other combat commands out in the Pacific. And his command of the Fort McHenry might be a reason why they came last year. I don't know if he pulled some strings, but we're very fortunate to have our own retired Admiral, Director of Public Safety for the City of Mobile, Admiral Rich Lando.
It's a pleasure to have the opportunity to introduce someone whom you're familiar with and of their accomplishments. And although I'm going to repeat a few things the mayor said earlier, they're worth repeating. Admiral Howard and I first met when we were going to be commanding officer school in Fort Vermont. He was en route to become the first African American woman in command of the United States ship, the USS Admiral. It would be the first of many firsts for this pioneering officer. To review just some other highlights of her stellar career, in case you missed the Fox News Sunday yesterday, where she was profiled as the power player of the week. She later commanded Amphibious Squadron 7 out of San Diego. During that deployment, she was the face of America during the 2005 tsunami that hit Southeast Asia. A devastating natural catastrophe of biblical proportions. Her ships provided relief to thousands. Shortly after that tour, she received her first star and spent most of that time as the military aide to the Secretary of the Navy. Upon completion of that tour, it was to the Middle East area of operations, where she commanded an military training. Less than 5 days after assuming command there, she was the on-scene commander during the rescue of the master of the air hostage by Somali pirates. The movie Captain Phillips, starring Tom Hanks, was made from that event. And if you listen real closely, you'll hear a cameo from them. She quickly rose to 2 and 3 stars. During that time, was a 3-star deputy to our Fleet Forces Command, and then a deputy CNO for operations, plans, and strategy before being our Navy and military's first African-American female warship. It appears she may be headed next to becoming commander for Naval Forces Europe and Africa. A quote from a Military Times article that mentions this life force says it all. If confirmed for the post, I have no doubt she would cement the 1982 Naval Academy graduates' legacy as one of the most accomplished women in the services. Would you please give a warm Mobile welcome to the 38th
Well, Rich, thank you very much. I do need to set the record straight. I have not been in any movies. I have been in the real thing several times. So, first of all, I started this speech by saying good morning, Buffalo soldiers, but there's a lot of distinguished veterans in the house, from Montfort Point Marines to other veterans who served over different eras, from World War II to Vietnam to the Iraq wars, and for myself, this is the 25th anniversary of Desert Storm, a war that I served in as a pretty new lieutenant. So I appreciate all of you, all that you have done for your Air Force, Army, Navy, Coast Guard, or Marine Corps, for the service to our nation. It's been tremendously proud to share this country with you. So thank you. So it's a treat to speak before a group which clearly treasures the memories of our service members who sacrificed so much for both our veterans themselves and the civilian citizens we have in this room. And the Buffalo soldiers remind us that we are accepted on our own merits, because those who went before us fought also for that right. So let me start with a personal sea story about diversity and inclusion in my time. So when I had command of USS Rushmore, I was asked to speak to a group of elementary school children. And after talking a little bit about myself, those youngsters were allowed to ask questions. And they were easy with me at first. And I was able to answer with confidence questions like, why are Navy ships gray? And do you see dolphins at sea? And then this young boy stood up. And he started with, how can you be in command of a ship? And then he paused, searching for words. And in that 2-second pause, there was just so much that went through my mind. And then I thought, oh no, is he going to comment on me being a woman? And then I found myself praying, please, Lord, do not let this child come out of my heritage. And then he continued, how can you be in command of a ship? You're short. So the good news is, in that moment, the young boy did not see me as a woman of color. His characterization of me still involved acceptance of me as a human being with equal claim to lead and inspire, although a sharp one, I'll give you that. But the point is, we all have the right to achieve greater heights based on our merit. And it's a right we presume today. But not so long ago, it was a privilege that these soldiers fought hard to earn. And the original 6 Buffalo Soldier regiments joined the Army in 1866. and offered to lay down their lives for a country that did not accept them on their own merit. It didn't offer them full standing as citizens for another 100 years, and many sacrificed their lives, and all fought with grit and determination. And each Buffalo soldier left a legacy for us. Langston Hughes wrote, "We build temples for tomorrow as strong as we know how, and we stand on top of the mountain, free within ourselves." And I can't think of a better metaphor for this often overlooked group of trailblazers.
New message from +1
The
2
Buffalo
5 1 6
soldiers
5
built
4
their
6
temples
2 8
for
7.
tomorrow. They knew when they served that their ultimate reward would probably come late. And they stood free within themselves because they knew that their service and sacrifice would prove they were equal value to the citizens of the country they were protecting. Now, many Buffalo soldiers were born into slavery, but the freedom granted by the Emancipation Proclamation and the end of the Civil War did not immediately translate the lives they dreamed of. The temples they imagined probably looked a lot like this room. And no, I don't literally mean the Admiral Hotel, although it's a very nice luncheon disturbance. But I think in their minds it probably looked like men and women of different races and ranges sitting together to share a meal. And so, man, in your words, I think they dreamed of one mobile. That is a temple of equality and inclusiveness. Private William Catley was among the first African Americans to join the regular Army's Buffalo Soldier Regiment. And William joined for the same reasons many people today join the military: a longing for adventure, a sense of patriotism, a desire to better circumstances. And William served honorably for 2 years on the southwestern frontier until discharge. William Catley, in truth, was Kathy Williams, a woman who successfully masqueraded as a male soldier for 2 years, and she was discovered by the post surgeon when she reported to the infirmary for rheumatism. Now, Kathy was born a slave in Missouri, and after a time with the Union Army as a cook, found herself struggling with the life of a free black in St. Louis. And we don't know why she chose such a difficult path. Perhaps it was the freedom and pride of a soldier's life. Kathy today might have served as one of our first female infantrymen. We know that she lived a true and faithful soldier's life. In her own words, she was never put in the guardhouse. No bayonet was ever put to her back. But despite this, her time in the Army took a hard toll on her body. She joined the 22 Snake, tall and strong, and over the course of her Army service, suffered smallpox, scurvy, frostbite, and skin infections. And with her brother soldiers, Kathy marched over 500 miles to the Mexico border to defend the new territories. And all the while, the Buffalo soldiers were accosted by disease, hostile Native Americans, and prejudiced officers. Now, Kathy died penniless and ill, her pension claims denied. She sacrificed her health and youth to serve with the Buffalo soldiers. And many of her fellow soldiers sacrificed their lives as well. And some completed their service and returned to civilian life, but without the just appreciation that we receive today as veterans. The Buffalo soldiers could only stand free within themselves, and some would live to see future generations stand in those temples of equality, and some would seize it for themselves. Now, another slave woman is Mary Fields, and she sounds like a character from an old Western movie, and I couldn't help but include her because I'm from Colorado, as the mayor pointed out. In fact, Gary Cooper, the famous Western movie actor, said of Stagecoach and Mary Fields, she was born a slave somewhere in Tennessee, but lived to become one of the freest souls ever to draw a breath. This woman was born in slavery, died a beloved hero, had never wasted a day in between. She did not serve with Buffalo soldiers, but claimed her place in public service history as a mail carrier for the U.S. Postal Service. A woman of true grit, Mary Fields went to Montana to work as a handyman for a convict. And while Mary was cutting the grass, driving the stagecoach supply run, repairing the buildings and bringing young cowboys under the table in the local saloon, her fellow handyman started complaining about how he was paid less than a black wounded laborer. So when Mary got wind of his whining, she rolled up the sleeves of her work blouse, reached for her Smith & Wesson 38 she kept under her apron, and shot the guy in the butt. Now, I can't help but be an admirer of a black woman with a gun and a grudge. But Mary Fields was rightfully fired for discharging a weapon with malicious intent on the grounds of a nunnery. So after the mishap at the convent, Mary applied to work as a mail carrier for the Postal Service in 1895. All applicants were required to hitch a team of 6 horses to a stagecoach. The then 60-year-old Mary was the fastest to complete it in about competing against a dozen cowboys half her age. And local legend in Montana has it that she still had enough time to drink a glass of whiskey and light a cigar. She earned this job on her merit. And in the West, where hardship had to be borne by all, she overcame the prejudice of the day and built temples of equality for herself. Mary was so well respected by the townspeople that she was even given special dispensation as the only woman allowed to drink in the saloon. She was the first African American to work as a mail carrier in the U.S. Postal Service, and only their second female employee ever. The Postal Service at the time was different from what you might have around here in Mobile. And on Mary's route, she would regularly encounter wary Blackfoot Native Americans, aggressive wolves, bandits, and outlaws, and of course the epic Montana winters. Through the Montana rain, sleet, snow, and hail, Mary never missed a day of work in 6 years of Postal Service and never failed to deliver a letter. And if the snow got so high that the horses couldn't keep going, Mary would toss mail bags on her shoulders and snowshoe sometimes up to 10 miles to deliver the mail. Imagine what it took for Mary mentally, a woman who lived her first 30 years as a slave, to compete with men. In all her legend stories and newspaper articles, there is never any whiff of self-doubt in Miss Mary Fields. In the West, opportunities for Buffalo soldiers and other African American public servants were improving because of the sacrifice and service of men and women who had grit. A remarkable person, Mary was also building her temple for tomorrow. By the time she retired, there were 105 women postal carriers. She built her temple for those 105 women and for all the women who came after. Through Mary and Cathay and the Buffalo soldiers, they were all fiercely independent. But no one reaches the top of that mountain alone, and their legacy leaves a path for the next generation to follow. So let me introduce you to just 3 more men who reached those temples for tomorrow and stood higher on those mountains thanks to their soldier and Buffalo soldier legacy. Charles Young was born in slavery in 1864. In 1883, he entered the United States Military Academy and became its 3rd black graduate. Upon receiving his commission, he was assigned to the 10th U.S. Cavalry Regiment, a segregated Buffalo Soldier regiment. He was the first African American to achieve the rank of colonel in the Army, but he was denied any further promotions out of fear and prejudice. But fear and prejudice could not stop him from leaving a legacy, from building his temple. Midway through his career, Charles Young tutored an African American enlisted soldier who had hopes of receiving a commission. The soldier passed the test and received his commission as a 2nd lieutenant in the 10th Cavalry. That 2nd lieutenant would become Brigadier General Benjamin O. Davis Sr., the guy in the middle, the first African American man to hold general rank of any service and a proud Buffalo soldier. Brigadier General Davis retired just before the service was fully integrated, but he left a legacy of tactical excellence and one of flesh and blood. His son, the last man, Benjamin O. Davis Jr., is also of that Buffalo soldier legacy. Benjamin Davis Jr. graduated from West Point in 1936. When he received his commission, the Army had a total of 2 black rhino officers, Benjamin O. Davis Sr., his dad, and Benjamin O. Davis Jr. Benjamin Jr. had dreamed of flight since riding with a great barn-storing pilot at the age of 13, but was rejected from the Army Air Corps because it did not accept blacks. He went into the 24th Infantry Regiment, a Buffalo Soldier Regiment. However, he got to Tuskegee in 1941 and earned his wings as one of the first Tuskegee Airmen. He deployed as a commander of the 1st All-Black Unit, the 99th Pursuit Squadron. The fitness of the squadron was questioned by senior officers, but their record of success eventually defeated any doubt. The airmen he commanded during World War II shot down 111 enemy planes and destroyed another 273 on the ground. Benjamin Davis Jr. went on to serve in the racially integrated Air Force as its first African-American general officer and was advanced to 4-star general in his retirement by President Bill Clinton. Benjamin Davis Jr.'s success is truly the temple built by all Buffalo soldiers. It's the temple of private cafes, short and taxi enlistment. It's the temple of a post-war Murray built slogging through the snow during 6 Montana winters. It's the temple of Colonel Young and his protege, Benjamin O. Davis Sr. Thousands of Buffalo soldiers and African-American public servants in our nation's history sacrificed without the conditional freedoms given to all citizens in the Constitution. They patiently built this temple for us with purpose and very often their blood. And every proud military member today, the Buffalo soldiers stand on the mountain alongside all of us, free within ourselves. May God bless all of you and all of our veterans and all those who serve. Thank you.
Jazzy Talk Show.
Are we good? Are you good?
Yes.
So your story is very inspiring. I guess what I'm going to ask you is, what message would you like to give to our people who feel about trying to accomplish things that people tell you you can't do?
So, yeah, don't let the naysayers stop you. You know, you have to have belief in yourself, and a lot of times it's your family or friends who will help you get to yes. So don't give up on your dreams ever.
Is there any specific memory or something that you'd love to share with us?
Probably just the one, a little bit, what the mayor talked about, that when I was 12, I wanted to go to a service academy, and they were closed. And then when I talked to my mother about it, she said, yes, they're closed, it's the law. But then she said, look, you're 12, you're young, they could open there, but if they don't, and you apply and you're rejected, we'll sue the government. So she was in my corner from a very young age.
Okay. Yeah. I want to know your name and your rank. The kids want to know.
Hi, Admiral Michelle J. Howard.
What inspired you to do what you do?
Well, actually, I was young and I saw a documentary and I wanted to go into the service.
Wow. What would you tell a kid? What would you tell them?
I would. What I tell them today is that you need to find purpose in life, and then you need to pick an occupation that fuels your passion.
Thank you very much. Did what you looking? Did I get it? Did I get it? Thank you. All right, Jazzy got that interview. Thank you, young man. Wow, this was so nice. Once in a lifetime, okay? But I got it. Once in a lifetime. Wow. Once in a lifetime. For my sick and my shit in. Yeah, I know I'll take you somewhere. Troy Eveman, me and Troy Eveman talking with her. Me and Troy Eveman. She's got to go catch a flight. Jazzy, we love you. Peace.
We would go to nursing homes, read obituaries, visit those who lost their kids or partners, visit sick children, got involved with the Wounded Warriors, head coached Special Olympics, etc. One Wednesday brought me to an amputee named Henry, who was ready to throw in the towel and give up on life. I approached him with an offer, let's
train you for a bodybuilding show, and we can reassess your lust for life or lack thereof afterwards. He ended up placing top 5 in an open division of men's bodybuilding and changed his goal to follow in the footsteps as a trainer. When the recession hit California, Henry went to work for a company called Strategic Operations at Camp Pendleton. This is one of the only hyper-realistic training environment companies based on human terrain analytics, social and cultural awareness that can help our military shape the human terrain before instability morphs into threats. Since Henry was already an amputee, military corpsmen and combat medics are able to be a part of explosions from an IED, improvised explosive devices, and RPGs, rocket-propelled grenades. STOPS, that's the word I'll use for strategic operations, introduced the magic of Hollywood by employing all the techniques of film and TV production integrated with military tactics, techniques, and procedures. Since 2002, STOPS has provided pre-deployment training support for more than 750,000 military personnel and still counting. When Henry was asked to refer one of the strongest women he knew, not just from a physical standpoint, but one who could endure unbelievable sleep deprivation, lack of food, experience with weapons, and can go through unsurmountable challenges, very similar to what our warfighters face in this increasingly unstable world, guess who came to mind? So I embarked on a journey that would change my life. We ended up being 5 women who were all very specifically trained. I not only was muscular, but I was an advanced Krav Maga practitioner, Israeli self-defense hand-to-hand combat, spoke several languages, was training with weapons, and emotionally stable. Each of the women, some from overseas, and all excelled at some form of self-defense, many black belts, all excellent shooters, etc. I immediately became part of TRADED, a group of experienced Navy SEALs out of Coronado Island and San Diego, who between deployments are responsible for training SEAL platoons that are preparing to go on deployment. We are considered the FTX final training phase of our ULT, unit level training. The BUDS guys, basic underwater demolition, are also on the island with us at the end of their phase 3, which comes after 8 weeks of physical training, 8 weeks of diving, and then 9 weeks of land warfare. Together, the traded team, a few other role players, and the 5 of us women would recreate scenarios the senior SEALs had seen over and over, not always with a successful outcome. That way, when our ULT guys get deployed and succumb to failed states, undergoverned areas, where instability, chaos, and human misery foster breeding grounds for terrorism and insurgencies, they are acutely aware that although terrorism may not be so much the cause of our future problems as it will be the result of our failures to understand the human domain. Our training is all done out of San Clemente Island, the southernmost tip of the Channel Islands in California. It is 21 nautical miles long, and in 1934, the U.S. Navy acquired the island. It has the only Navy ship-to-shore live firing range and the Naval Rocket Test Facility. It is home to very strenuous military training, and parts of it are recreated to look like neighborhoods in Iraq and Afghanistan and Pakistan. Our first commander, Jocko Willink, who received both the Bronze and Silver Star for his actions in the Iraq War and the commander of SEAL Team 3's task unit cruiser during the Battle of Ramadi, told us that we were allowed to think outside the box and problem solve, instead of letting them become obstacles during all of our scenarios. Our deployments were 2 weeks every 6 to 8 weeks, or so for the final training exercise. Although we were never, ever allowed to discuss our scenarios with our friends or families, I'd often come home with a lot of bullet holes in my butt. The SEALs get to use the rubber bullets. And lots of black eyes, and even dangling fingers from awesome snipers that shot my trigger. We were instrumental in helping these well-bred gems, these boys raised to be nice men, that women are not helpless nor harmless, and that we are trained to shoot them back. And 1 out of 5 suicide bombers are women. That often they may want to wave at a woman in a burqa or a hijab, pushing a baby stroller, even though it's most likely an IED rather than an infant. That was 2007 to 2012. Now with Boko Haram and the hundreds Chibok girls kidnapped to become militant Islamists, and even if freed, would never be welcomed back to their homes due to the atrocities they undergo and the shame that has been brought to their families, I'm quite certain that perhaps numbers grow each and every day of the male-to-female ratio of suicide bombers. In 2010, my husband and I were transferred through the USCG service to New Orleans. By that time, we were picking up speed on the island. The deployments became more frequent, and the one scenario we inevitably did was me being the wife of an HBI, highly valued individual. We would alter the scene. Sometimes I was downstairs with my AK-47 guarding the door, and sometimes we would be upstairs preparing to shoot any strangers that came near our compound. I often had tons of hand grenades under my burqa, ready to throw, lots of extra magazines, and once they even came after us and tear gas us out of the compound. All I knew is we were on high alert to prepare for one of the biggest operations of recent times. What even we didn't know until May 2nd, 2011, that we were training our troops for the capture of Osama bin Laden. That DEVGU SEAL Team 6 completed their operation, codenamed Operation Neptune Special. Al-Qaeda confirmed the death on May 6th with posts on militant websites. Amongst the deaths was Bushra, the burqa-wearing female, holding her AK-47. Not only did we do endless scenarios of every imaginable military situation, I spent my off time engaging in push-up competitions, pushing the SEALs and the traded team in some of the most difficult weight training sessions at our facility, and even encouraging them to practice yoga. By that point, I finished my yoga teacher training and encouraged my comrades that through yoga we are allowed to rediscover a sense of wholeness in our life, where we do not feel like we are constantly trying to fit broken pieces together. That we can meet each scenario with a sense of calm and peace, and that might alter our reactions. That the mastery of yoga, as my teacher Desikachar says, must not be measured simply by the ability to master a posture, but how it influences our day-to-day life and enhances our relationships. By that point, Commander Joe Burns took Jocko's job, and unbeknownst to me was a yogi. He was just one of the many military men who believed my yoga message that we must all surround ourselves with people who inspire and support us every step of the way. That inner peace refers to a state of being mentally and spiritually at peace, with enough knowledge and understanding to keep oneself strong in the face of discord or stress. When I used to ask my mom as a small child, "Hey Mom, what's normal?" her response was, "It's just a setting on the dryer, honey." This was the segue that just because I was a woman, I could be whatever I wanted, however unimaginable it might seem. I'm no longer sleeping in foxholes or shooting up our most elite special forces. Actually, I'm on Hillcrest, not the airport, at above and beyond hot yoga, continually teaching my new comrades that the most important things in life are not things. I'm immersed in a 3-year yoga therapy training program currently in India. But mostly, I teach passionate, free-thinking women to raise passionate, free-thinking children, and passionate, free-thinking children to grow up to be passionate, free-thinking adults. Because passionate, free-thinking adults are very difficult to manipulate and impossible to control. I am the granddaughter of immigrants to this country escaping anti-Semitism and the terrible fate of all other Jews and Nazi